stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
So I'm out doing a combat tracking class with Pacific Expedition Crisis Team. It's essentially a group of guys that know how to use guns. Best way I can describe it. But today was mostly basics, right? Fundamentals of what does a footprint look like when someone's walking? What does it look like when they're running?
Yep.
What's the other things to look for, like falling and breaking of vegetation, and what kind of different types of terrain and the change between terrains looks like. Just kind of training our eyes to see the important things, the things that are supposed to stand out.
A nice, fairly clear print of what that is and where we went. So we would say, okay, but then we get back into the same shit that we goes away, right? So where do we go from there? Same thing. If I lose it, I gotta find it.
I've been learning a lot, trying to take notes where I can. And tomorrow is going to be more of the combat side.
I think so. Do you guys, are you on? Yeah, they're on.
Low profile. You got sign over there?
Yeah, it looks like I got a print. So, I mean, same probably concept. They probably widened out, do a wedge or something.
You know, how the formations are set out, the areas of security, how to move through terrain while actually looking for bad guys.
So like if my taser
You guys will probably have 6, so there'll be one more. But your front guy is your tracker. He's paying attention. Your second dude is going to be fairly close to the tracker because he's the primary security. There's be a space, you know, the typical good spacing. And this guy, if he's the right flank tracker, man, this is his job. Your guy's doing your guy's stuff. Right? Watching everybody forward, making sure everybody's progress is good there, checking his GPS, his map, all the shit he's normally doing. But he's also checking behind to make sure somebody isn't sneaking up.
It's dinner time. We're going to go into some kind of the same principles, but at night. So a couple guys have night vision. I don't have night vision. I have a drone. Maybe we'll see if that comes into play tomorrow with the force on force stuff. This here. So we're going to stay the night, do some more tracking basics, get up early in the morning, and then get into some of the team movement and team tracking situations.
Maybe we're going to be cut off. So that's where we're going to want to watch the edge to see, because if you walk out there, there's obviously going to be nothing in the middle we're going to find. Nothing we're going to see.
So here we had another team tracking us, so I wanted to see how long it would take me to put on all my scrim and set up a little hide site. So a few days have passed. Let's go over the gear that I was wearing on the combat tracking class. We brought airsoft guns. All of us were carrying airsoft guns because safety for one reason, and then we also planned on doing some force on force at the end of the second day, but we never got around to it, which is fine. It was a 4-day class that was compactified into a weekend. So we didn't get around to shooting each other, but we still split into different teams, and one team was tracking, one team was hiding. We were playing hide and go seek, more or less. But because you don't want to be pointing your guns at your homies, even if everybody knows everything's unloaded, it's still better to be certain nobody's going to get shot, right? So airsoft guns. This is my Crytac CRB. I've had this for a long time, and it served me quite well. I brought it to Milson West. I've done a bunch of CQB games with it. It's always worked out really well for me. Replica Elcan, replica suppressor, and a replica Surefire. That's the rifle. Nothing special. Same old Apparel Concepts Slingster. Moving on. I tried to stay slick as possible. I didn't want a belt. I didn't want a plate carrier. I have my chest rig and my pack. That was for a couple of reasons. One, I mainly wanted to be focusing on the information that I was being taught. I didn't want to be focusing on adjusting my gear. On the first day, I didn't even bring the pack with me. I just had the chest rig. It had everything I needed and like a water bottle in the pocket. Alright, I added stuff throughout the day just to add bits of inconvenience, and it was a good place to test out my gear, test out the setup. So, same chest rig I've had for a long time, Halo Strategic D3CR. I notice a lot of chest rigs these days are expanding a lot. You have your front shingle and then big pouches on the side, or molly to put big pouches on the side. I don't like that. I like my sides pretty slick when I'm running a chest rig because it makes it easier to get a backpack on and off. That being said, my soul pack, Dragon Egg, direct action Dragon Egg. Same soul pack I've been running for a long time. We'll get into this later. Let's go into what I was carrying on my chest rig. This big old front right pouch. I have trail tape, high-vis trail tape. This is for as you were tracking through the woods, each time you get some sort of sign or spore or whatever you call it, you mark it with trail tape so you know your last known position that you've been following. Anything that hasn't been marked with trail tape is going to be new sign, so you're going to analyze it, figure out what's next. On that note, also on my rifle you can see a hair tie right here. That was once you establish the gate of the between prints, you can use this as a measurement from one step to the next, and then so when you get to your last known print, you can place your rifle. You can use this as a quick measuring device. So you get to your last print and you lay your rifle down, and you know somewhere at the muzzle is going to be your next sign. So that's a good little tip for tracking that I found out. I had a compass. We weren't doing any real land nav stuff, but I always like to keep a compass in here. And that's dummy corded in, so I don't leave that anywhere. Electrical tape for taping things. These are tracking cards, man tracking cards. So this is, if you find a boot print in the woods, you can draw out kind of what the tread looks like. So then if you find another one, you can compare it. Is this the same as the last one I saw? And then you can write some other information on there, like length and size and ground surface, different bits of information. So that I kept in this little translucent matte pouch. So my idea was, as I'm walking through, all I have to do is unzip this. Bam, I can look right there and see if the print matches the print that I have drawn. And then behind that, I have 2 Sharpies. I have my multi-tool and chem lights. One IR and one yellow or something. In my left pouch, this one's a smaller one, I have a lighter. I have a little emergency blanket for a couple things, right? You could lay this underneath your poncho and then defeat thermal in one way or another. Some chapstick, some Z-fold gauze. I have a full IFAC, but a little bit extra gauze is never a bad thing. And this is extra ear protection, and another little mini notebook. This wasn't the notebook I take field notes in. This has like a little reference guide. Behind that, I had 3 magazines. These are for my actual rifle, not for airsoft, but if we were doing airsoft, I would put airsoft magazines in there, no shit, right? I have a 40 on the right side, and then 2 30s, just plus up a little bit more since I'm not carrying a belt with more ammo on it. And then my Bamfang. I have a push-to-talk here that wires into the ear protection that's on my helmet. I'll get into that a little later. And then behind that final thing, my little stabber, my CRKT Sting little dagger. I like to keep my knives center line. Beneath the chest rig, velcroed into the back, is Apparel Concepts revolving one. All this scrim, these are scrim patches. They just velcro onto whatever you want to velcro them onto. I make them myself. Check Etsy if you want to pick up one of these guys. So, I think that's all for the chest rig. I was wearing a boonie hat for most of the time. Occasionally, like I said, I'd switch to the helmet if I wanted to do some more comm stuff. If I wanted to be wired into to get comms directly into my ear. If I want to hide from something, right? I don't want my radio going off at random times and giving away my position. That being said, it's going to the assault pack. So when I was carrying my helmet with me, this is how I had it set up. I have a video on the helmet carrier. Again, another thing I made myself. A little DIY project, and also on Etsy if you'd like to purchase one of these. So I have the helmet in there like that, and then when I wanted to take it off, it just clips out, beaver tail falls, and you got your helmet. Again, like I said earlier, I think this is a Defense Distributors slim boom mic that the down lead's velcroed in here right now, but you know, I'd unvelcro that and that would connect to my push to talk, the little lead right there. And then I have my comms wired directly into my helmet. That's the helmet setup. I got my little microphone right here. It connects into the 3.5mm headphone jack in the Walker Razors. And that was my comm setup for my helmet. I have the scrim on because I was hiding, and it's good to have scrim on your head. A rounded shape can really stand out sometimes in the woods, so scrimmed up my helmet. On the exterior of the pack, I have these 2 rifle mag pouches, but I kept in those. This is a EG-18 smoke grenade. This is a sound grenade. And these are cool because you can also attach a little like fishing line to the pin, and then you have yourself an early warning device, tripwire. The helmet retainer comes all the way off. It's 4 clips, essentially. The right side, I just got a grip of paracord, probably more than I need, but you know, who knows when you need a ton of paracord. And my little Swiss Army spoon thing. This side I got canteen. And this is dummy corded because I'm a dummy and I drop my shit all the time. That was the only water source. I don't keep a bladder in here just because it takes up a lot of space, and I don't want it popping and then getting all of my internal shit wet. And if I wanted more water, I would just fill my pockets up with those just cheap clear water bottles. This glasses pouch has headlamp in it. I don't like the glass. I don't like keeping glasses in this because if you set your pack down, that's just gonna smash it because it's on the exterior. Let's get into the interior of the pack. This front pouch. This front pouch stays configured like this. This is like kind of a general setup for general missions. Missions, right? Binoculars. Some random binoculars. I don't know where I got them. They just came into my life. But I have binoculars right there. I have a ton of zip ties. Big old red Sharpie. A pen. I have an unjamming rod. Or just a barrel rod. That you can screw these three together. I think it's good to have something that you can plunge through your barrel just in case you get a stuck casing and you can't mortar it out. I don't have a full cleaning kit in here, but I at least have something to clear my barrel with. This is a straw for my little water filter here. Lollipops, because sometimes you need a little sugar. I have a bunch of different chem lights. Red, orange, yellow, green. It's for different demarcations. Chem lights are pretty universal objects. This is, I haven't tried this before. It's unopened, but I thought it'd be good to hang on to. It's a little oxygen canister, so you can just huff it. If you're really if you're evading especially, and you've just been sprinting and sprinting and sprinting trying to get away from somebody, I thought this would be good to have, just to kind of give you a little boost. Just catch your breath a lot quicker if you got it. So, keep that in there. They make bigger ones, but this tiny one fits in here really well. Moleskin for blisters. Mosquito net for the bugs when it's bug season. It's good to be able to cover your face, especially if you're trying to sleep and you don't have a tent. Matches, waterproof match container. That's a lot of threads. This is camo face paint. Be able to cover your face if you're running from somebody. What is this? CLP. Yeah, seal is, again, I don't have a full cleaning kit, but I can lube my rifle up if I need to. This zipper pouch has a bunch of different cords. It's micro USB, USB-C, and a charging block just for all your electronic devices. It's another space blanket, again for covering yourself if you're like getting hypothermic or defeating thermal signature. This is toilet paper. This is iodine tablets. I haven't popped it open yet, but iodine tablets just in case you don't have time to filter water. And this is a little boo-boo kit. So I have antibiotic ointment. This is liquid bandage, so you get a cut in a weird spot. This is arnica gel, in case your muscles are all sore. A little deeper in this guy. Electrical tape, some batteries, in a plastic bag. Plastic bag can be useful as well. This is a little fire starting kit. This is a ferro rod and a lighter in there, and a sewing kit in case you rip your gear. You might need to sew something. I like to keep everything in this compartment. This all stays in here because it's kind of universal shit you'd always need in your pack. Maybe it's a lot. Maybe it's too heavy. It doesn't feel too heavy, but I got a lot of shit in there. The main pack, I have a poncho for obvious reasons. Rain. Poncho can be used for a lot of shit. It could be used as overhead concealment, or just keeping you dry, keeping your gear dry, keeping yourself camouflaged. Handy little tool. And then I have my scrim set up that you guys saw earlier. I have my bit for my shoulders. That's for the hat, actually. So that'll go over my boonie hat. And this will go over my shoulders. It's not a full ghillie suit, but it's not really what I'm after here. I kind of want something that I can put on quickly and get nice and camoed up. And then also, if I'm leaving my pack behind, I can throw all that stuff on it, camouflage the pack a little bit more. And the main part, this is gonna be streamlined a bit because this is a big case, but it's all I had at the time. So I'll figure out a new solution for this eventually. But this is a DJI Mavic Pro. So if you're tracking somebody, this can make it a lot easier to cover a lot of distance without having to move your entire team around. I didn't get to use the drone for any scenarios during the class, but I kept it on me just in case. And it's kind of the future of warfare at this point. Everybody's got a drone. So this has got the drone, the controller, the extra battery. The more batteries the better, because these guys zap 3 batteries pretty goddamn quick. It's a nice case, it's just bulky and it takes up a lot of space. Okay, last couple things I want to go over. The flannel I'm wearing, it's just a regular flannel, but I sewed on shoulder pockets, and in the right shoulder pocket was where I kept my notebook, my main notebook that I was taking notes for this class with, and a pen, just so it's quick access. Something gets said that I want to remember, pull it out, write it down, slide it right back in. I never struggled this much in the class as I am struggling right now with this fucking thing. The flannel, I've been calling them raid flannels. If you're interested, hit me up in the DMs, hit me up on Instagram. I'll make you one. I sell them through Etsy. I don't have any in stock, but I'll make a custom one for you if you want. That's the top. The bottoms were, these are Patagonia AOR2 combat pants. I dig the Patagonia. Some people like Cries, you know. Yeah, these serve me really well. I like the knee pads a lot on the Patagonia because they don't pop out like they do Cries, but AOR2 works really well in the Pacific Northwest, I think. And even though there's a lot of blue in this flannel, I was hiding pretty well. I had some guys get real close without seeing me. So, anyway, that's that. Again, this was a intro to combat tracking with Pacific Expedition Crisis Team. I'll put their Instagram in the description. I see myself going out with them again at some point soon, some point in the future. A good group of guys to train with. Yeah, any questions you guys got, hit me up in the comments. I'm open. Instagram DMs are always open. And thanks for coming and watching this video. Have a good one, guys.